Pony Swim is like homecoming and Christmas.
So this has been your dream since you were a little girl?
Yes, exactly.
I think it's a great thing that they do here.
The internationally recognized annual Chincoteague Pony Swim and Auction.
For a lot of people, it's a childhood dream. You know, they've wanted to come to Pony Swim for years.
One of the most unique traditions across the United States.
We're all about helping those people realize their dreams.
Launched in 1925 and now held annually on the last Wednesday and Thursday of July, the Pony Swim features hundreds of wild horses swimming from the Virginia Eastern Shore island of Assateague to Chincoteague, where they'll be sold at auction. And while the actual swim lasts just about 3 minutes, the festivities begin days prior with the opening of the Carnival Fairgrounds. During the event, the small Atlantic island of Chincoteague, Virginia, sees its population swell by over 40,000 people.
We're at maximum capacity this week. I've been director of the chamber for about 10 years now. Economically, it's our busiest week of the year. Some of the small businesses will make more money this week than they probably do the first quarter.
But where you'll find most visitors early in the week is across the water, on the remote island of Assateague.
Right now, they are in the corral.
These feral ponies had been freely roaming Assateague Island all year and are corralled by the Chincoteague Volunteer Fire Department days before the big swim.
I love the little Palomino. A lot of them down that in that pen down there.
Thousands stop by, many pre-selecting the ponies they'll bid on at auction.
Mama went off to go find better hair.
Yeah.
Others simply because it's yearly ritual.
We're from outside of New York City, called Westchester County. We started to come in 1995.
What makes you love this place so much that you come back year after year?
It stemmed from reading the books when I was a kid.
Published back in 1947, a novel by Marguerite Henry called Misty of Chincoteague follows two island siblings who eventually acquire a wild pony named Misty. The initial manuscript was so popular, it eventually became a 6-volume series. Selling over 5 million copies nationwide, the novel is partially credited with the swim's popularity.
We saw the swim, we went to the auction. I think they had one pony that you could bid on and then donate back to the herd. Not knowing what I was doing, I bid for $800 and got this little pony who we called Irwin Dream, because it was a dream, and it always been my dream to come to Chincoteague because I'd read Misty of Chincoteague as a kid. We donated her back, and then every year we would come and we would see her. And we always said, wouldn't it be really cool if we could get one of her babies and take her home? We found her baby. She was really cute. Long story short, we got her 17 years ago. Her full name is Riddle Me This because she has a mark. We have her, we bought her at a stable, and she's part of our family.
Then come Pony Swim morning, and electricity fills the salty air.
Morning. Hey, how are you? All right, Rob. How you doing? All right.
You'll look around, and most everyone in a boat out here is probably local. They've been sleeping out here for a night or two, just to get the spot that they're used to getting.
Thousands packing like sardines along the Assateague Channel.
Anybody that grew up on Chincoteague tries to make it back for pony penning. It's a big deal.
For Chincoteague residents, the swim isn't only a time for friends and family. The Pony Swim supports a vital resource. the Chincoteague Volunteer Fire Department.
It all started in 1925 when they had a series of fires downtown, and the fire company at that time was just incapable of controlling them, and many of the buildings downtown burned. Fire equipment is very expensive, and one piece of equipment can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So they were looking at ways to raise money to buy more equipment. Then along the way, they secured a grazing permit with the Fish and Wildlife Service over on the Chincoteague National Wildlife Refuge to graze 150 adult ponies. That's what the Fish and Wildlife Service has determined is a manageable herd size for the amount of grass there is.
The fire department are superstars as far as taking care of these ponies. There was one time when a stallion was caught in the mud out there and would not have survived without a couple of people holding on until the fire department came out. And they were out in 10 minutes and managed to get the stallion out. But that's the kind of work they do.
That's why they continue to do it now, is to keep the herd at 150 ponies, and then, of course, to raise money for the fire company.
Last year, they almost raised over $500,000 for the fire department in the auction.
That funds the fire company. It's a volunteer fire company. They're not paid.
When you see the horses break around the woods on the marsh, the excitement builds. It's pretty exciting.
Led by a unique group of wranglers coined the Saltwater Cowboys, the ponies stay corralled until the time is just right.
And what they're waiting for is dead slack tide. So it's either high or low tide, depending on the years. They will swim at slack, low tide when there's no movement. Because with the young horses, you've got to make sure that they have the easiest path to cross it.
How do they ensure they get across the water safely?
There are spotters, and if they see any pony in any kind of distress, they will scoop it up and put it in the boat.
There's 4 boats that help the ponies get across the channel safely. We notice if there's one struggling or having trouble, the pony patrol will sweep in, grab the pony, and take it across. So we've never lost a pony in 98 years of doing the pony swim.
And once the Coast Guard gives the signal,
at slack tide, you'll see a flare go up, so everybody knows they're getting ready to hit the water.
it's time for the main event.
When they shoot the flare, the cowboys will start moving the ponies down here to the actual point.
But don't blink or you can miss it.
As the ponies are swimming across the channel, you sometimes tear up and you get like, oh, this is just very touching.
It hits you hard quickly, and then you blink and it's over. So you better soak it in while you're here.
This is a great thing to happen to the island.
How exciting is this day for your city?
Oh, this is phenomenal. Big tradition on the island. My dad was a real big saltwater cowboy, but my boys picked up the tradition of riding in the roundup.
Everything went smooth. Perfect swim, everything great.
This has been a family affair generations.
Generations. I think since the first roundup, there's been a Leonard on the roundup.
Morning, boys and girls. Morning, everybody.
But the swim is only half the journey.
When they swim ashore, they'll come ashore and they'll rest for 45 minutes to an hour.
The pony auction is held in the center of town at the Carnival Fairgrounds. Led by the Saltwater Cowboys, hundreds of ponies fill the street of Chincoteague Island, using encouragement as their fuel as roars and cheers fill the air.
We have riders that we call outriders that ride on the outside of everybody else, and that's their only job.
Some do get off course.
If they get mixed up, they get a little scared, they might look for the nearest exit, and then we try and get them back with her.
Would you say they're more or less rowdy than years before?
I say less. I say we've done all right this year. Everybody was kind of calm-mannered. Maybe it's the heat, I'm not sure, but everybody seemed to cooperate very well.
Upon arrival to the fairgrounds, the foals will drink their mother's milk and be examined by vets. In 24 hours, they'll be sold at auction, although many will never leave the island.
We have one Chincoteague buyback pony.
Locals oftentimes purchase ponies and donate them back to the land.
We got it in 2018. We named her Miss Admiral Halsey in memory of my grandfather, who was in World War II.
But other ponies will fulfill lifelong dreams, traveling across the world to be members of new families.
Even all these years later, I still say the one thing you always wanted when you were like 10 and your parents gave you Misty of Chincoteague for Christmas one year, and you read the story and you always wanted to come. You finally, you know, if you did nothing else in your life, you got a Chincoteague pony. So.
2 more days of carnival later, and the annual pony swim comes to a close.
It taxes us. We're all tired by the time Saturday, rolls around and the end of the carnival.
And the small island of Chincoteague, Virginia returns to its quiet nature until next year.
The one day a year that we do this, it's just nothing else like it. It's almost, you're almost in awe of the whole situation as it's going on. It's just something surreal.
This is our Christmas. This is Christmas, New Year's all rolled into one.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.